Good morning. Hi, this is Tracy Payton. I'm the Corporate Education Manager here at Trade Only. And today's webinar is on search engine optimization. So what we want to go through today is showing you how on the back end of any company store or websites using the Trade Only platform, how you can optimize the ability to drive people and customers to your websites. So we're going to cover the different ways in which you can do that. We're going to go ahead and get started here in just a few minutes. A few housekeeping items. I do want to let you know if you have any questions, please feel free to come into the questions area, type your questions, and I will be checking those throughout the webinar as well as at the end of the webinar. So if for some reason I do not get to your question or provide an answer, please contact support at Trade Only. I will open up our website here for you. This is our Trade Only website, and as you can see up in the top you have a support link. If you click on support, that'll provide you the number, the telephone number, and how you can reach our support team via chat or email. So if you have any additional questions after this webinar is over, please feel free to contact support. Okay, so we'll go ahead and get started here today. You can see I'm going to start with Envision under the Websites tab. This is where I can maintain, either view my websites that I've created in company stores or manage those websites in company stores. So I'm going to start here today within the websites area of Vision. And then I'm going to find an actual company store that has been created that I use quite a bit for training to show today's search engine optimization. So we'll go through here. I'm going to pick Colony High School. I could either view this website or I could go straight into managing the website. I'm going to go into view and talk about a few things on this particular website, and then we'll go into the back end and I'll show you how you can increase your search engine optimization. There's a couple things in just looking at the website, just the way that search engines work. So they're going to be searching for keywords and descriptions throughout your websites. Anyone who puts in a keyword search in Google is you're hoping from a owner of a website or promotional products that you're going to pull up towards the top of that search. And in order to do that, there are a few things that we allow you to do on our websites. The number one thing in just increasing your search engine is there are meta keywords and meta descriptions, and we're going to go through that, but that is what that search engine is looking at when they're conducting a search and looking at what results apply to that search. You also have pages. So when we're looking at a site, the pages are usually across the top, and if I click into the home page, this is what I see. If I click into the promotional products page, I will see anything that's on that page. So today when we talk about maximizing the descriptions and keywords per pages and having that ability to have an unlimited amount of pages, this is what I'm talking about. Things that are found up here, any links that you're, when you click on it, it takes you to a different area of your website. That's really deemed a page on your website. And we'll show how you increase that search engine optimization when you have multiple pages with custom attributes for those pages. The other thing that we're going to talk about today is just the ability to bold on your website key areas. Having that ability of bold and text that's in a title format or a heading format catches the search engine's attention when conducting those searches. So it will be looking for any type of text in a heading format or a bold format. So we'll talk about how you can customize your website to have that on there as well. And then the other thing on your website is we have categories. And this is really your offerings of that, what you're offering on that website. So those categories can be customized on the Trade-Only platform. So we can take a look at how we customize those categories to mean something more specific to the consumer that is searching for products and goods. And again, pulling up your website in the results of their search. So that's the front end of the website. And what I'd like to do now is go into the back end and show you where you can customize and increase your search engine optimization. So I'm going to come back and to the websites, and then I'm going to go ahead and manage. The other way in which you can get to the back end of your trade-only web stores or websites is up here in the URL. You have the ability to put the URL in here /manage, and that will allow you to sign into the back end of your site. And you would just use the login information that you were sent for your Vision and/or store. It's an email plus your password. So we're on the back end of the website. And I mentioned a little bit earlier, we are actually on the home page of the back end. And this is some of the information you want to pay attention to that applies to your general site as a whole. So what we want to do is we want to go into general settings. And that's the first point that we want to go into. So we'll click on general settings. And this is where you're having your site name and site title. Again, this site name and site title needs to be a very good description of what your website is all about. So you want to make sure whatever your site name and site title, it is relevant to your website. The next thing you want to be looking at on general settings is the meta description for your entire website as a whole and the meta keywords. I'm going to explain meta description quickly. That is a couple sentences or a small paragraph of describing what your website's offerings are, what your company does. In the meta description, it's very important to put location. Many individuals who do Google searches or search for websites, they're actually putting in promotional items in the, Central California or promotional items in Costa Mesa, California. So they're actually going to put an area in which they want to search. Most people search a 5 to 10 mile radius of their actual location. So it is important that you put the city and state or even town that you are actually that your company is located in. So you do want to pull up in those specific location searches. So you can see here in the meta description for this, Colony High School is a high school out here in Ontario, California. So what I've done is I've just put offered promotional products in Ontario, California for Colony High School. I could put Colony High School, I could expand on this. I could put, high school spirit wear and fundraising ideas. So again, I've now expanded on that. Anyone that's searching for promotional products in Ontario, California, any promotional products in California, a high school web, if they're looking for Colony High School, you've captured that. You've also captured the fact that you have spirit wear. You've also captured fundraising. So those are some of the things that people will be searching for. So a meta description has to be in a sentence format. Meta keywords, which are down here, can just be exactly that. They can be keywords separated by commas. So in this case, what I've done is I want to put everything and anything I can think of on my website here in my keywords. So promotional products, comma, apparel, comma, mugs, drinkware, spiritware, boosters, and so on. So you'd want to list any keywords. Again, in the keyword search, it's important to put location, at the high school. So you have any keyword that you can think of that an individual would search, you can put that here and just make sure it's separated by a comma. Now this is pertaining to your general site, so this is everything. Now what you have the ability to do, which I showed you earlier, the more pages you have on your website, the more traffic you drive to it. And for each page, you are able to customize the meta description and the meta keywords for those pages. So that really increases quite a bit of your, optimization. So we'll go ahead, and once we've done that, we'll go ahead and save our changes. So just to review, the first thing you want to do is come into General Settings, look at your site name, site title, and look at those meta description and meta keywords for your entire site. I'm going to come back to the home area, and I'm just going to mention, since I'm in this section, you do have that ability to sign up for Google Analytics. So if you do, they'll get an actual kind of code that you can key in here, and that'll allow you to take a look at who is coming to your website, what are they looking at, what pages, what's the average time that they're spending on those pages. So that's good information and feedback for you. So I do ask that you take advantage of Google Analytics. It gives you some reports on the actual, the searches that are pertaining to your website, and then if you need to make adjustments, you can. So this is where you would put in your Google Analytics, the 10-digit code, and it would allow you to sign up, and you could see the reports that are generated from your website. That's just kind of a side note. Getting back to the search engine optimization, I want to take a look at pages, because we did the meta description and meta keywords for the general site as a whole. But now if we go into my pages, again, our websites, you can create as many pages as you'd like. The more pages, the better. And within each of those pages, over here where it says edit attributes, you can edit those meta descriptions and edit keywords for those specific pages. So you're really capturing a huge amount of information and a lot of different keywords in which individuals will search. Just make sure that almost on every page that you do put the location and you do put exactly what that page pertains to. So what is actually on, what information is found on that page. So for example, if I come into the home and I edit attributes here, again, I would want a page title. I would definitely want to make sure I have a menu title as well. And then in here, I haven't put a meta description, but I could leave it as promotional items and printed merchandise. However, that's a little bit vague. So exactly what kind of promotional items, where, what kind of printed merchandise. So be very specific when you get into these descriptions, and then again with your keywords. Okay, and then you always want to save your changes. The next thing I want to talk about is over under products. We have the categories. So these are the types of areas in which you provide, or what you provide on your website. So they're groupings. So if we click onto categories, you have the ability with our websites. There are 3 category levels. You have top level categories, you have mid-level categories, and bottom level categories. For example, right here is a top level category. So if you are offering ceramic mugs, clothing and textiles, those are kind of the umbrella, the large category. And then within those categories, you have mid and bottom. If I go to mid-level categories, you can see that I'm just kind of drilling down. So now I have adapters, air fresheners, alcoholic drinks, stress toys. So I'm getting further down, and then obviously bottom-level categories. Just to give you an example, are exact, kind of pins, calculators. So an example of where the calculators, it would probably fall in executive category would be the large category. The next tier down might be office. And then the bottom level category would be calculators. So that gives you an idea. So there are those three types of categories. And within each of those categories, you have, quite a bit that you can do with them. So if I come back to the top level category, and I have ceramics and mugs. Now, if I want to rename this to drinkware, I can customize this so that it means more for those individuals that are searching for specific promotional items that are drinkware. So I can come in here and I can edit ceramic mugs and label it drinkware. And then I can also edit the URL that the search engine is looking at. So I can come up here and I can edit, and now at the end of the URL I can write drinkware. So again, just another way, and you have that ability to do it for all top level categories, mid and bottom level categories. So you can really customize the categories that you have on your website, and that again will increase your search engine optimization. Okay, so the last thing I want to show you is when we talk about headers and bolding text. You do not want to do too much of it. So, moderation. Only bold and put those important areas in titles when they are exactly that, important. Search engines will also recognize if you're bolding everything, that's going to lose the impact. So definitely don't want to bold and put everything in title format. But I do want to show you how you can actually customize your website. And so we're going to go back to the pages, and I'm going to go to the home page. So I'm going to edit the layout and contents of my home page. And this allows me to add those custom modules that if you've attended any other webinars, we actually customize websites by adding modules. There are several different modules that you can put onto your website. There are banner modules, there are product modules. A listing is found up here in the top left. So you have Google Maps. You also have modules that link to Facebook. You have social link modules. So again, you can increase traffic by just the social media aspect of the websites. So that's another thing that our websites offer, is that social media tie-in. So if you want to drive traffic that way, you can as well. But what I wanted to show you is within the HTML block. So if I come in here and I want to add an HTML block, and I insert that module onto my website, this allows me to write anything. It allows me to link images, and but it also allows me to put text in. So if I'm putting a module in with a link, I can say promotional products for high schools. Okay, so right here under this format, I can select it and bold. So that's going to draw attention to that specific area on my website. What will also drive or draw attention would be this drop down here. So if I go ahead and I highlight that and I make it a heading 1, which means this is of utmost importance, this will be flagged. So anyone it's going to be searching promotional products for high schools, this is going to draw the attention of that search engine. It's going to take a look at that, and again will create a higher result for you. If I go ahead and change it to a different title or a heading, I could do heading 2. Same thing. Any of these headings that are here are going to draw attention, as well as the bolding. So if I go ahead and save those changes, you should be able to see, here's that HTML block that I put onto my home page. It's bolded, it's in a heading format. You do not need to always do it in an HTML block. You also have that ability to highlight in here this products. So you can actually list titles of products. So if you want to do categories, you could bold your categories right here. Your virtual sample. So anyone that's looking for virtual sample or logos, again, this is bold, and it will draw attention to that on your website. So you just have the ability to go into any of these modules that are offered and customize them, put titles, bold your titles, and so forth. Again, pretty much everything that I've discussed here today is ways in which you can increase your search engine optimization. So what I'd like to do now is I'm going to go ahead and take a few questions if there are any questions before concluding the webinar. Okay, I see that there aren't any questions at this time. I do encourage you, the more that you work with our websites, there is a lot on the back end that is customizable to increase that search engine optimization. The other thing that we offer on our websites is the ability, if you have someone that does CSS, special coding, you have that ability on our websites as well. So, if you have someone that knows that, you can definitely go into the back end of the websites and utilize that expertise, and again, completely customize those websites. And the more custom and the more specific and accurate those websites are, the better you're going to be displayed in searches by customers. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up that support number and chat and email for you before we conclude. So if there are any additional questions that you think about after this webinar, please feel free to contact us. We are here to help you, and we have other resources such as training and roundtable discussions, webinars, videos, anything that is there to help you. So please give us a call or send us an email, and we can schedule a one-on-one training if you need that. So thank you very much for attending this webinar, and we look forward to seeing you on many more webinars. Thank you.